Hey guys, Veebat here with another V Plays, and this video comes right on the heels of the Key 5 video. This is literally the next battle. Like, I was just moving the pilot for my Key 84 from the Key 5 to the A6M3 experimental, and then after this I moved it on to the J4M and so on and so forth, just to get the ×3s for those premium aircraft to go towards this pilot, and that's how I use a lot of my premium airframes. You'll note we have the custom paint here. This is kind of the ninja paint that they offered for a while. It even has a cartoon picture of like a ninja character on the cowling of the engine, so it's a nice looking aircraft with this paint scheme. I typically don't like zeros, but at tier 5 it's not that big of a concern. We immediately went towards the forward airstrip, which is different than an air base, because the forward airstrip, represented by the outline of a single engine fighter, is only going to have light fighters defending it, while an air base will have a combination of light fighters and heavy fighters defending it. Honestly, I didn't really realize that until fairly recently, because I typically don't go to forward airfields or air bases, because normally I'm flying heavies and stuff, so I would be going towards the military base. But since the military base is primarily defended by heavy fighters, as you saw there, I was hitting my F1 key, let you know what to expect at each one of those sites, that a heavy fighter is going to typically be at higher altitude, probably engaging our bombers. And since this aircraft's ceiling is essentially 2,600 feet, I really don't have much of a ghost of a chance to get up there after him. Now, I am going to go for this enemy player-controlled Spitfire. I am hammering down using my boost cooler to get myself up there, and now I'm throwing on my pneumatic control assist to be able to flip around on this aircraft. I'm kind of doing a spiral dogfight with him, just trying to slow myself down and get him to overtake me, so that way I can get on his tail. If we can just get a momentary hit, this aircraft actually sports 30mm cannons, which can get a crit, and then the machine guns, starting them on fire, allows us to be able to finish that aircraft off. It looks like the Bristol is on us right now, another dogfighting aircraft, so this would be a little bit of a harrowing endeavor. However, my ally just took him out. We do high-five our ally a little bit there, but it's alright. Even though I just got killed by the Focke-Wulf 190A1, we're able to take the center zone, which is awesome for us because now we're in control of 3 sites to their 1. I am going to use the forward airfield or the airstrip to be able to get a closer spawn to where the enemy fighting is, and then we'll work our way over. There even seems to be some aircraft coming into the zone, which are going to be easy pickings for maneuverable aircraft such as this Zero, because right now it's just a multi-role. The nice thing about the cannons on this aircraft is that if they do make contact, you'll see huge swaths of the aircraft's health get ripped off, and not only did that aircraft lose his engine, but he was also lit on fire. That's the combination of the high caliber and low caliber guns kind of fusing together. The Key 84 also sports a similar combination where it's got 30s in the wings and then 20s in the cowlings, so it's kind of similar in the way that you would use these short bursts of fire, keep them from getting overheated, it makes them more accurate, and then you can just chunk away the health. And if you really need to settle in to get the final portions of the hit points knocked off of the kill, you hit them with those machine guns. This is a player-controlled Bristol from earlier, knocked him out easily enough, probably didn't even see us coming. While the airspeed isn't spectacular, it's definitely good enough to be able to do these types of engagements. Got a good crit there, letting the guns cool off a little bit here. I was only firing with the light machine guns and letting the big 30s cool off. Surprising the Spitfire from underneath, which is also a very viable tactic. People tend to think in a flat plane most of the time, so coming up from underneath is a really strong advantage. The 30s are nice for being able to do instantaneous damage against more heavily hit point saturated aircraft, so like your heavies and your ground attackers typically can take quite a beating, but these 30s in a quick burst can do some decent damage as well in a brushing pass, which we were able to do to that ground attacker earlier on. Now he's down to single digits. I would like to finish the kill just so I can get credit for it. There we go. Nothing's worse than getting a majority of a kill and then letting him just sit there with like a single digit of hit points left and have an ally or AA kill the target. We are now at 4 zones, and we have both of the military facilities. This isn't really what I want, though. I like being in a state of control where we have the advantage of having 3 zones to their 2 and just maintaining that. So I'm almost hoping the enemy will pick up another zone here. I could go into the airfield, but there's a lot of enemy aircraft over there, and it is unwise to just barrel straight into the enemy because then you'll be outnumbered. What you want to do is you want to kind of measure your attack. Sure, I might be able to make it over there and cause some damage, but most likely I'm going to die. So what I would like to do is try and get it so my team starts moving that direction and then slowly working our way to the airfield as it continues on. So right here, we're taking out, rolling the aircraft to put that fire out. We are dogfighting with that Spitfire yet again. We got the pneumatic control assist going, and we got to try and get the aircraft around, but shooty Mark Crusaders got us. So what I was trying to say earlier is I don't want to go straight to the airfield. If I went straight to the airfield, you saw how many reds there were over there. We didn't want to get mixed up in that. So the best thing to do would be to fight between the 2 zones, and then as your allies congregate to where you are, once you get rid of the immediate threat, then you can work your way over to the garrison, or to the airfield. In this case, we're actually going to head straight back towards the middle for the garrison because it's going to be easier to pick that up. Our allies are going to be respawning at the airfield. The players that are there, or the aircraft that are there, are going to be fighting over the zone, and we also have both of the mill bases firing at the airfield currently as well. We're able to take out that aircraft very easily. Got to be careful of rams, especially with any aircraft with the beefier hit point pool. The bots are very typical for going for head-on rams. We just picked up grade 3 fighter. I'm dipping the nose, I'm hitting the hammer down. I knew that the enemy aircraft was going to end up coming straight back into the airfield just because it makes sense based on bot behavior. So I dipped my nose to get the airspeed and ran an intercept course for where I thought he was going to be. I know there's an aircraft behind me, but I really wanted to get that aircraft knocked out. And there's the Blenheim. We were able to get a passing blow on him real quick just to pick up the kill. I'm hoping that I didn't take that from a player-controlled aircraft. Usually I'll steal kills if it's just a bot engaging him, but what are you going to do? Ooh, I do see the Spitfire. I am queuing him up for my allies hitting that F4 button. We're going to gun our way towards him, because if we can take him out, that will definitely be a force multiplier, but I'm not getting so target blind that I don't see this injured boomerang that I can easily take out to assist with capture of this zone, which then gets us grade 2. Again, here's another boomerang we're able to take out fairly effectively, and we picked up the zone. We're back into control of the lion's share of the capture areas, and there's an opportunity to finish off shooty Mark Crusader in order to get our revenge for when he killed us earlier. Although one could argue that he was trying to get revenge on us. We were able to put that fire out using our firefighter skill. Usually rolling the wings gets you that skill to proc, so for any of you who are wondering, that's typically the best move. We were able to take out the Yak-7. That gave us a bit of a hard time here. And now we have this multi-roll, and we just picked up Wing Legend, waiting for those big guns to cool down, and we managed to kill that aircraft at the last possible second and picked up Hero of the Sky, although it isn't depicting here on this splash screen. Must not have registered, but it will when we get back to the hangar. Speaking of the hangar, let's go back there and take a look at these post-game results. Man, this is back to back. I should just do a Japanese airplane video day because I did the Key 5 right before this recording. So for those of you who watched that one, this is immediately after. Again, grinding more XP for my Key 84 pilot. Got 19,000 and some change experience for that guy. And we managed to get 5% towards specializing this aircraft. So another great way to be able to specialize aircraft. I found light fighters are easier to get the specialization than it is for anything else just because the targets fall in line with the type of flying the aircraft does. Multi-rolls, they still want you to get enemy aircraft kills for whatever reason, even though typically you have air-to-ground ordnance. I feel like it should include both, but it doesn't. Anyways, we managed to get grade 1 in this. We're going up against the specialized Spitfire 1. Really should have been a tough battle, but we were able to get the tables turned early on in the battle. We were able to take out Shooty Mark Crusader here, and we were able to take out the what was it? There was a 109. Was it a 109? There was a light fighter that was gunning for me. Maybe it was the Bristol. Anyways, I digress. Point being is we were able to play very effectively with this aircraft. The A6M3 experimental as far as tier 5s go. If you're looking for a dogfighting platform, this thing is a very solid performer. So I enjoy it from time to time. I'm not much of a tourney fighter type of player, but at tier 5, most aircraft are at lower altitude brackets anyway, so this does all right in those situations. But if you ever got a bomber player that knows what they're doing, or a heavy, they can just trounce you because you don't have a good counter for them with this airframe. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.
I'm marching till it's over. I'm just like a soldier.